We all set? Okay, so I guess we're live. We're on YouTube. And I want to say hello. Thank you for coming to tonight's Board of Selectmen meeting on December 28th, 2021. Here with us this evening is myself, Bob Carlson, the first selectman, Nicole Porter, one of our selectmen. Brett Mastriani, I believe, is away. He said he'd try to call in. If he doesn't, that's okay because we have a quorum with the two of us. Also, Christine Diaz, the admin finance director, is here. And let me just start by saying I apologize for having this meeting tonight. It's a quick meeting. Unfortunately, I had a misstep. A few weeks ago, I spoke to the other two selectmen at the November 23rd meeting about an opioid settlement that's taking place in the state of Connecticut. We have been asked, as all 169 cities and towns have been asked, is to register and to say they will participate in this, which after discussing this with the other two selectmen on the November 23rd meeting, I got nods of approval. I thought that's all I needed until I spoke to one of our town attorneys and they said, no, you actually needed to have a vote on it. So I can't get away with being new for long, but I'll chalk this one up for being a new first selectman and a misstep on my part. So I apologize for getting people out of the house on Christmas week for a short meeting. With that said, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this national opioid settlement. As I said, the Attorney General has asked all 169 towns, cities and towns in Connecticut to register and then agree to participate. The reason that is if we have a 100% turnout of cities and towns, we get $300 million for the state of Connecticut, in which North Stonington will get a piece of that. If a smaller number register, say 90%, it would drop down to around 250 million. And if it gets down to 75%, it would drop down to about 200 million, just round figures. What I've found so far is that 93% of all cities and towns have registered and have talked and then said they will participate. We actually have registered and we said we would participate, but unfortunately, like I said, I did not get a vote from the Board of Selectmen on that. So that's why we're here this evening. So with that said, you know what, before we vote, public comments on here, and typically we like to have public comments before we vote when we're on an agenda item. Is there anyone online or anyone in the audience that would like to make a comment or ask a question? And go ahead, Ann.
And Norwalk 188 Northwest Corner Road. What is this money going to be used for when we get it, or what is it supposed to be used for?
Okay, so when we do get it, it can only be used for spending in the same venue as opioid, part of the opioid crisis. So we can bring in special needs people, we can do rehab, we can use to help set up, if we had a lot of cases, set up some sort of an opioid awareness center. You know, bigger cities are going to get a lot more money than we have, but it has to be used for that. It can't be used for buying a piece of machinery. It can't be used for the budget. It can't be used for things other than things that are directly involved with the opioid settlement. So yeah, so whatever we have it for, whatever we get the money for, it has to be used in that vein. So if we have some citizens in North Stonington need help, that's what we would use the money for. I don't know that at this stage, but I'm going to guess that I don't think we're completely, free of that. I think no matter how small a town you are, there's always something. We know we've had some issues in the past. So if we can get that money, can help someone in our town, that's what we want to do. Okay. Joe, you have a question? Sure, why not?
I'm here this evening to ask your support. Miracles happen maybe once in a lifetime. The last time I saw one in town was whenever I came. I don't expect this. So we have a lot of uncollected taxes. I don't know who the heck cares about it in this town, but this is not up to date. It's old, but this is a study I've done, and it seems nobody cares too much about it. The ones that I want basically to support on, and I'd like to go to the Board of Finance, saying that they're responsible for going forward with this, is the ones who say, I refuse to pay. We got a lot of people in town that refuses to pay, not every line, but in here. There's quite a bit of money in here. It refuses to pay. It goes through the process that they do in collecting taxes. However, by the time it gets into 15 or 20 years, you don't know where they're at. They moved out of town. I can't locate them and all that. I want to go after the people who say they refuse to pay. And I want the town to put it in the paper, those names. I'm going through over 10 years now. Same people, same comment. And how the hell a taxpayer can wait for 10 years to have the same people, same comment over years, say, I'm not going to pay. Now, if there's a secret to it, I want to get in on it. But I don't know of any. But that's the comments I got, all this, it's a suspense report we go through and all that. But taxes, I feel, is a responsibility of everything and everyone. But the tax collection, I guess, is the responsibility of the Board of Finance. I want to go before the Board of Finance and say, I want them to go after the ones who state they refuse to pay taxes. Put their names in the paper, I feel that it should be done. If not, you're just going to wait as time goes on. And here it is, a time frame. No guesswork to it, people. It's fact. 10 years, same people, same comment. We're going to go to the 15 years or whatever it is, and it's gone. I'd like to have your support presented to the Board of Finance. And I don't think there'll be any pressure on the Board of Finance burdening, because I'm willing to do all the work. But I got to have that before I can get any of this stuff from the tax collector. It's all here. I need your support.
So, Joe, as first selectman, obviously, I would definitely support trying to get people to pay their taxes that refuse to pay. I agree with you. I can't tell you at this stage that I'd be willing to put their names in the paper. I think that would have to be something to be more of a discussion. Christine, seeing that you've been in that chair now for almost 4 years, in the past, is there a procedure we use in town to go after delinquent? I know we have an attorney.
So for real estate taxes, it goes through Loy Langhammer as our delinquent attorney for that. If things have not been paid, then a lien gets put on people's properties. There's an intent to lien sent for real estate, and then liens are put on, and then to get the lien taken off, the people have to pay the taxes with the interest and the lien fee. We just started working with a different collection agency for personal property and motor vehicle taxes last year. They've had great success with collecting the uncollected taxes from 2005 through 2019 has now been sent to them as well. So we get a monthly check from them. They send out letters on the town's behalf, and they have a fee that they charge above what is due to the town. So nothing comes out of what is being paid to the town for the interest and the taxes that they're collecting. We had not had a collections agency for about a year because the old one that we used closed, and then we went through the process of finding a new one. So we've been with this new company for less than a year, and we've had some months where they've collected over $11,000 in back taxes for us. So Joe and I have spoken about this several times about the refusing to pay. And as we have a new tax collector, we're still learning some of the process that goes with this. I don't have the information as to how we have the list of that the people refuse to pay. I don't know how that data comes back to the town. So again, we would need to rerun this list with what's been collected through the collections agency. And I'd need to see the list to see if this is real estate, personal property, or motor vehicle.
Thank you. Joe, can you meet with me in my office sometime in the next couple of days to go through this? And then I'll get together with Christine and the tax collector and see if we can find how the information comes back on someone saying I refuse to pay. And then I can get it, we can probably meet with the collection agency and let them know what we expect of them. So no, it's not falling on deaf ears. Come visit, I'm in town hall every day. I'd be more than happy to have you stop in and we can discuss it either tomorrow or Thursday if you'd like.
Yeah, no problem. I haven't heard anything else you guys have said. You know, I have my hearing aid because when you wear a mask, I've lost it 3 times, so I'm not worried.
Did you hear me say, would you come and visit me in the next couple of days in my office?
I'll do it.
Okay.
But my main concern is I want to go with a little bite to the Board of Finance and say, hey, the boards do want this done. When I think you should have a big input to this. It's a big responsibility. The only question I have for the board is, why on January the 10th, we have a 2 p.m. meeting?
We have a 2 p.m. meeting because it's probably one of my road trips. We've been doing road trips to places like the town garage, the fire station, and and where else do we go? We went to the transfer station.
That's basically for you guys.
It's open to the public because I made it a
Everybody's
meeting.
invited as well. The
But we-
town is invited as well,
but I-
just like the regular selectmen meeting.
Okay,
So what I'm trying to do, Joe, is get the newer Board of Selectmen and the newer Board of Finance members up to speed. So when they vote on a budget, they have a better understanding of what we're voting on. And I think Nicole, who's been at every meeting so far, will tell you that she's got an awful lot out of those trips, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. We went to, before Christmas, we were at the transfer station and just trying to get an idea of what's coming down the pike for there. And then January 10th, the one you're talking about is Hewitt Farm and the Gallup House. So everybody in town is invited to come with us and learn as we're learning what things might be coming down the road to that, capital equipment, things like that.
So.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Yep.
So Joe, again, we are not, as a board, we don't want to have a lot of crazy 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock meetings when no one can attend. This is a field trip. It's more, yeah.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I was asked, should we have this meeting this afternoon? And because it's only going to be a 15-minute meeting about a vote. I said, no, let's have it at 6 o'clock because that's when we usually meet. We don't want to have this as a moving target. We want people to know where you meet on Tuesdays at 6 or Tuesdays at 6:30. All right. Any other questions? Anything online? Okay. With that said, now I'd like to make a motion that we ratify what the first selectman has already done, which is to register and to say I would participate in this opioid settlement for the state of Connecticut. So,
I second that.
thank you.
Brett never signed on.
Okay, so we have a quorum with 2. So all in favor of ratifying the decision that the first selectman already had made, so we can keep this official and do it the right way, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. There's no opposed, and we'll have to say that Brett is just absent, right? He can't abstain. So 2-0-0, great. Okay, we have, the next meeting is going to be January 10th at 2 o'clock, as you mentioned, and that's a road trip and you are invited. Matter of fact, we had somebody from town showed up at the one at the transfer station. And that was great. I love to have people come on these trips. So I hope to do a couple with the school system, trying to get these done before we get really deep into the budget. So I hope to have one at the elementary school and one at the high school. So you can walk around, see there. And we might try to do something like a road trip around town, but the attorney's advising me that having a mobile selectman meeting may not be the best thing to do. So we may not end up having that. It might be me going on the road trip and coming back and reporting. But that's just, Oh, that's what I said. I have a minibus. And I said, why couldn't it be a meeting if we have people show up at 1:15, it leaves at 2, and the attorneys just tried to discourage me from doing it that way, but I don't know why. But He's the attorney and I'm not. So, all right. So 2:00 transfers, Hewitt Farm and Gallup House. And I guess that's about it for now. Then the next meeting after that will be our regular meeting on January 11th, which will be 6:30 on Tuesday, on the 11th. And that'll be a regular meeting. We're not going anywhere. All right. If there's no other discussion.
There is a hand up.
Oh, perfect. Who is it?
Brian, go ahead and unmute.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Joe. I just wanted to let you know that as far as putting people that don't pay the taxes, the name in the paper. They did it in North Stonington quite a few years ago. And from what I understand, the result was very, very good because people don't like to let it out that they're not paying the taxes. So I just thought I'd throw that in. So what Joe's saying is right. It has been done in the past and the results were very good. Instead of people dancing around saying, oh, I'll pay my taxes soon. We all got to pay them. I don't like paying taxes. You know that. And, anyway, I think you ought to
Dan.
really take it into consideration what Joe said. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. I appreciate it, Brian. I agree that as people that don't pay the taxes makes the people that do pay the taxes have to pay more, which doesn't seem very fair. Okay, nothing else at this point. So I entertain a motion for adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn at 6:17.
Okay, 6:17. Okay, I second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And there's no one here to oppose. So